Well, let's start with the big story of the day. It was just 22 days ago that US and Iran signed what was meant to be a 60-day MOU between the two countries, which saw many as the first move towards lasting peace in West Asia, except it did not last for long. Amid the ongoing NATO summit, Donald Trump has declared that the ceasefire is effectively over and that he has absolutely no interest in dealing with Iran ever again. On that, we have a breaking update coming in. The United States has started another round of strikes on Iran. The US military has now officially confirmed the operation. The US Central Command has said that the strikes were ordered by President Donald Trump. And according to the US Central Command, the aim is to reduce Iran's ability to threaten ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz. So the US has said that and has also accused Iran of the recent attacks on the commercial ships and civilian crews in the region. And these fresh strikes mark another major escalation in the region there as well. US has said that Iran violated the MOU that was signed 22 days ago. And in fact, the officials have said that deal was very simple. US would lift the blockade there in the Strait of Hormuz and Iran would stop firing on the ships. But he said that Iran only complied for a week after it started targeting commercial vessels there in the key waterway. So that is the latest we're learning as far as the fresh strikes there on Iran by US are concerned. Let me get you more details on this and go across to Peter Kuznick, geopolitical expert. Thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us. The latest US strikes on Iran appear to be much broader action than what we saw yesterday and could mark a major escalation as well. Your take on this?
It looks like a major escalation. Trump says the ceasefire is over. It looks like shipping in the Strait of Hormuz is going to be blocked again. We're back where we started 2 months ago, which we all predicted was going to happen because the memorandum of understanding was so flimsy and the two sides could never even agree on what they had agreed on or what was in the memorandum. And so there was very, very tenuous at best, very flimsy. This is not a surprise, but it's a major setback. And Trump, who desperately wanted to end this war because his approval ratings are so low and his party is looking so dismal in the upcoming midterms, now is back in what looks like it's going to be a full-scale war with the United States bombing Iran, Israel going after Hezbollah, the Iranians going after U.S. bases and U.S. allies in the Gulf. And it's just going to be more of the kind of war that Trump said he was going to avoid.
Absolutely, and many of the experts also believe that the terms of the MOU, they were very weak, and what has happened now is inevitable. Stay on with us. We have more updates coming in from West Asia. The US strikes on Iran overnight, that is Tuesday, July 7th, into Wednesday, that is July 8th, targeted Iran's military infra, mainly along the country's southern coastline and the Strait of Hormuz. So let's tell you more with the help of the map that you can see there on your screen. Bandar Abbas, that has now been targeted. That's a major port city housing key naval bases. Keshem Island, a highly fortified island there near the Strait of Hormuz, used for surveillance and drone operation. Also Sirik, a county, a coastal area critical for missile positioning, and Mashahar, that is coastal base and installation along the Persian Gulf. So all of these areas in and around the Strait of Hormuz, they have come under attack. But naturally, one would ask, what led to the fresh offensive when it looked like both the sides were keen on maintaining long-lasting peace in the region? So here's why Trump has decided to strike Iran once again. Let's give you more details about what he has said. Reason number one is US has claimed that Iran has violated the terms of MOU. Reason number two is that US cites that attack by Iran's IRGC in Hormuz, the attack there on shipping. And reason number three is the 3 commercial ships reportedly attacked by Iran in that key waterway. Reason number four is that US cited that there is need to protect the commercial shipping. So as you heard, this has to do with the Strait of Hormuz and the attack on the commercial shipping there. We have another breaking update coming in, something that Donald Trump has said. US President Donald Trump has claimed that he is Iran's #1 target. The remark comes as US-Iran conflict continues to escalate. Now, speaking after the NATO summit, Trump said, and I quote, "They had leaders, they're gone now, they have another set of leaders, they may be gone as well." Listen into what Trump said.
As far as I'm concerned, it's over. I'll speak to our negotiators. They want to negotiate. They're good people. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner. But they have to come back to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a waste of time dealing with them. They're liars. We make a deal. And if I make a deal with him, we have a deal. And he goes out, he talks. We make a deal. Everyone's agreed. No nuclear weapon. We make a deal. They go outside, talk to the press. They say, we never even talked about it. There's something wrong with them. They're cuckoo. As far as I'm concerned, it's over.
All right, with that, we have a breaking update coming in. Another statement that has come in from Donald Trump. He has claimed that he's Iran's #1 target, and the remark comes as the US-Iran conflict continues to escalate, as we told you. Now, speaking at the NATO summit yesterday, Trump said, and I quote, they had leaders, they're gone. They have another set of leaders, they may be gone very soon. And this is, in fact, a threat that he has given. He also claimed that Iran's top leadership has been wiped out during the conflict. Trump then added, and I quote, I may be gone too because I am their #1 target. He also added that I'm doing what's right for the country as he defended his decision as far as Iran is concerned. So as you heard, Donald Trump has amped up the attack against Tehran, and in the latest he has intensified his statement against Iran, claiming that several Iranian leaders are no longer in power and suggesting that more could be removed in the coming days. He also added that he considers himself as Iran's #1 target. Also listen in to what he said as far as the leadership there in Iran is concerned.
Khomeini killed a lot of people over the years. Everything's gone. Their leaders are gone. They had leaders, they're gone. And they had another set of leaders, they're gone. Now they have another set of leaders, they may be gone. Who knows? And you know what? I may be gone too, because I'm their #1 target.
And with that, we have another big update for you coming in from West Asia. Iranian media has reported multiple explosions at Iran Share Airport, with the terminal building and the runway that have been said to be struck. We will be getting you visuals in just some time. Reports also added that several projectiles hit the Ak-Tehek Khan Bridge on the railway line in the western part of Ak-Kala in Golestan province. So as you heard, that this is the first time that after the MOU was signed that the civilian infra there has come under attack. Let me once again go across to Mr. Peter on this. As you heard, sir, now in the latest, airport as well as a railway line that has come under attack. And now this is very concerning because both the countries decided that they would not be attacking the civilian infra, but in the latest, the airport, their railway line that has come under target. Your take on this?
My take is that the Iranians are going to retaliate in kind.
Right.
They've said that if the U.S. and Israel go after Iranian infrastructure, then they're going to go after the infrastructure throughout the region. They've shown the capability of doing that. They've already been attacking in Kuwait and Bahrain, and they can expand that. And the earlier attacks, they were very successful in not only damaging U.S. bases, but damaging the bases of U.S. allies in the region. So what we're going to see is a very unfortunate escalation, the kind of thing the world did not want to happen. We're going to see oil prices, gas prices skyrocketing again. We're going to see poor countries throughout the region, many of which used up very much of their stockpiles, their reserves. They're going to be hurting very, very badly. And Trump is going to be considered to be a liar by many of his own supporters, who he promised he would not go to war in the Middle East and get the United States involved in a war in the Middle East. And that's exactly what he's done. You know, he followed Netanyahu's lead. Netanyahu assured him that it would be over very quickly and the U.S. and Israel would be out of there. But it didn't happen. It was just the opposite. And the Iranians, by controlling the Strait of Hormuz and by having inexpensive drones and missiles that are being shot down by interceptors that cost upwards of $1 million, Iran is able to employ asymmetric warfare, and up to this point has been very successful. Now, the United States can definitely cause a lot of damage in Iran. The United States has shown it can blow things up, but it has not shown that it has the wisdom, skill, or power to bring an end to this war. And Iran is calling the shots there. So we don't know what's going to happen, but we know this is not a good development for anybody involved.
Absolutely, and there will be likely escalation in the coming hours, because in the latest we are learning that a port, railway line and also airport in Iran, they have been hit. So expected that Iran will be hitting back, and in the latest we have seen that they attack the naval bases in the Gulf region. So that is something that remains to be seen. Sion, with us, I'll come back to you once again. We have another breaking update coming in. US airstrikes have also hit a key port facility in Iran, is what we're learning. Visuals now emerging on social media showing that the maritime traffic control tower at Chahabad port reduced to a complete rubble. The head of the free zone has confirmed that the traffic control tower has been hit and destroyed in the strike. The port is one of Iran's key gateway on the Arabian Sea. And meanwhile, there is some relief from another strike site. In fact, we are learning that US has struck the Bushehr province, but there was no damage that was reported, because this area is quite important. Bushehr nuclear plant, that is a crucial area, and now images and videos are doing round on social media showing that the maritime traffic control tower at the port there in Chabahar, that has come under attack and that has been completely destroyed following a US strike. The head of the Chabahar Free Zone organization has claimed that the port maritime traffic control tower was hit and destroyed in this attack. And we have more details coming in as far as a statement from Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi is concerned. He has issued a strong message amid the rising tension, saying that the remarks against Iran will not diminish the country's greatness. In a post on social media, he has said that Iranians are known for their civility and also strong values, adding that Iran responds not with insults but with action and courage and resolve as well. So that is the first reaction that has come in from the Iranian Foreign Minister. He has issued a strong message on social media saying that the derogatory remarks against Iran will not diminish the country's greatness. Also going on to say that Iranians are known for their strong values and that Iran will not respond with insults, but there will be action in fact, the coming few hours, is what we are learning. Let me once again go back to Mr. Peter on this. Mr. Peter, the day is very important because today the former supreme leader of Iran, that is Ali Khamenei, will be buried in the hometown there in Mashhad. And on that very day, we are witnessing escalation. But the procession continues, is what we're learning. Visuals are coming to the fore from Iran as well. What sort of message, according to you, Iran is sending out on July 9th, the day that former Iran supreme leader Ali Khamenei will be buried?
Iran is sending a very strong message that they are not scared, that they're going to stand up, they're going to remain united. In fact, Donald Trump has succeeded in doing something in Iran that he can't do in the United States, and that's unite the country. Even those who are opposed to the regime are more opposed to the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran. And so they're supporting the government there. You know, it was Trump who called for regime change. It was Trump who demanded unconditional surrender. What we're seeing is regime change in the United States, not in Iran. What we saw was unconditional surrender by the United States. Well, what Trump came under a lot of pressure from his allies, from fellow Republicans, who said that the memorandum of understanding was a capitulation to the Iranians, that the Iranians had achieved everything that they wanted, and the United States got practically nothing, no guarantees about the nuclear program. And Iran claimed that it still had control over the Strait of Hormuz. That infuriated Trump, especially when the Iranians struck 3 vessels going through the strait. So now we're back in a full-scale war. You know, we don't know how long this can go on. The Iranians are prepared. They prepared for 2 decades for war with the United States. And now they've got it, and they seem to think that it strengthens them.
All right.
Well, we've got corrupt regime in Washington, we've got a corrupt regime in Tehran, and now they're fighting with each other, and the world is suffering.
Absolutely, and we are back to where we started. And the question is, why is it happening again? Because US is saying that the terms of MOU were quite simple, that they would remove the naval blockade and Iran would stop firing at the commercial vessels there. But now US has said that that has been flouted by Iran, and that is why the escalation has started over. Thank you so much, Peter Kuznick, for connecting with us and putting that into perspective. And now with runs roaring again in West Asia, India cannot afford to look away as US-Iran truce falls apart. The consequences could hit India's economy, energy security and interests as well. So let me tell you why India is watching this very closely, because this can have implication on our country as well. Implication number one is that global energy trade could be impacted once again, something that we saw earlier this year. Sanction on Iranian oil limit India's option and also may affect India's oil and LPG supply, and the prices once again may also lead to the pressure again on inflation and also fallout in the stock market, something that we saw yesterday. Sensex and Nifty have dipped by 2%. Now the ceasefire is over, the peace deal is null and void. US and Iran are back at striking each other, and neither US or Iran have expressed any sign of holding back. Watch this report.
The war between the US and Iran officially began. US and Israeli forces joined hands to strike Iran. For 3.5 months, the war went on. Supreme Leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khomeini, dead. Business suspended on the Strait of Hormuz. Markets across the globe in red. Retaliatory strikes extending till Dubai. The world saw an unprecedented geopolitical standoff. For 5 weeks, global leaders held their breath. Some acted as peace brokers. Then, multiple mediation attempts later, a temporary peace deal agreed upon. Trump and Iranian President Pezeshkian formally signed a memorandum, a 60-day window to make the deal permanently agreed upon. But the understanding was short-lived. Cracks appeared as Qatar hosted indirect talks. US launched fresh strikes hitting around 80 targets. Claiming Tehran hit commercial oil tankers first. A grieving Tehran holding the funeral for Khomeini didn't hold back either. And that was the end of the ceasefire.
Let's probably hit them hard again tonight. I'll give them a little warning, we're going to hit them hard tonight. But we'll see how it all works out. No, I'm not happy with them.
Just like that, the hope for peace in West Asia faded. And Tehran got a fresh warning. The fate of West Asia once again hangs in the balance. Can the global powers hit a pause on war?